They are trolling hard tonight. I swear I didn't turn 7 on. Oh well. Anyway. Uh, oh dear, the S4. Very Sims of you. You might want to go back and tell your people that those muted tones of green. I guess their mama didn't tell them. Who uses that as a fucking color accent on walls, bro? It's so basic, bitch. People who aren't in any way connected to any of these communities or families or people or witnesses or anything else that feed you bullshit on YouTube, right? They pump out narratives, um, lies, slander, harassment, and pull real crimes on people. That's who the fuck these creators are. What was Floppy's hot take? Does anybody remember? In that, oh, I don't know, the 19th, um, you know, arc of I'm sorry, I'll do better bullshit. Oh, what was that? He's a creator. Other. What was Floppy's hot take? Does anybody remember? In that, oh, I don't know, the 19th, um, you know, arc of I'm sorry, I'll do better bullshit. Oh, what was that? He's a creator. He's a god. He's a something the fuck other. Remember that? Enhanced. You talking about when Floppy suddenly got super concerned and was afraid that maybe his name had been mentioned to the local police department, and then basically admitted in a random ass way that there was involvement in with others. That one. And then lied and called himself some sort of fucking YouTube correspondent or something. I've said that from day one. That you all know of, Alicia. That you all know of. And let's see, your favorite little creators are going by a fucking piece from a tiny little place set on way over a year ago. That's different, ain't it? Hey, Autumn asked me if I give a shit. Because that's also stayed pretty consistent. I don't give a shit who stays what, and who's named what, and who's cleared publicly, and otherwise until summer's found. And you're literally listening to a fucking piece from over a year ago. And still yet, truth is, Autumn, none of us give a fuck. It's only you crazies that keep saying shit like that. Or super into it and keep eating and regurgitating it. Who gives a flying fuck, man? Like, how many times do I gotta tell y'all? Like, nobody gives a flying fuck. Because they can use that shit until the end of the time to make you all eat, buy, and believe in fucking bullshit. They want you to believe and pump out and whatever. Like, nobody really gives. Like, I don't give a shit who they name, clear, don't, whatever the fuck. And I never have, and I never will. You know, Hope? Not what you're being told. Alright, maybe go ask your favorite creator that, though. Your criminal ass, crime pulling, narrative driving, slander, harassing, targeting real ass criminals sitting behind random ass YouTubes that really inserted themselves in this, that have no rights to our names, images, our lives, our stories, anything else, but you go pay. So, Hope Forever, I would suggest you go ask them that because, whoo, the internet tally of just what other human beings it can see out in the open, it's in the millions. That's what your favorite little creators have made on the backside. Every fucking body else. including summer. Right? Yeah. Ooh, Salty's trying hard tonight. Bless her. Bless her little soul. Not a creator still. I don't care how much you want to say that. And that's my name, by the way. Alicia. That's my name. Go ask Floppy if my name running in his title, or Silver, or Sliver, or any of them. Go ask if that's their fucking name, or their information, or their images, or anything else. Mm. It's not deflection, Kim. Go ask them. Go ask them to share their fucking AdSense counts and all that other shit like I've done. When they do that with you, you let me know. Alright, so I'm semi back for a minute anyway. Alright, straight like spilled my tea. All kinds of typical insanity happening in the world of, right? Yeah, this ain't got nothing to do with creators, man. We do have something going on, and it's all okay though. Just wasn't expected. It's fine now. So, anyway, well, it's nuts, man. And I don't know what to tell Floppy. Like I said, I guess he gets to come to Tennessee and fuck around and find out. See how many places he got trespassed across. How many people are gonna tell him when, where, what, why? I mean, he fucked around and found out when he fucking was this. And I don't think it really matters, honestly, because I'll be real clear here. LE, feds, all them, they done took care of that. All the 200 agencies and all the splendid little search crews who were trained for that. They had real maps and all, real locals to guide them, etc. They already took care of that. They don't need Floppy or anybody else be fucking around finding out the woods. I don't know about all that. You're talking about one else, right? Like, what was it, Elaine? Like one of the only female serial killers, right? Ex-prostitute, etc. She's not really fascinating either. It's pretty easy to understand. I know. That maybe sucked, by the way. People and what really was behind that. Anyway, but as far as the documentaries and things on the serial killers, no, I don't really watch them. I have, off and on, some of them. Don't get me wrong. But not so often. And I know that there's one thing that Tragedy Pentville has latched onto over here from one of my earlier videos on YouTube where I was talking about serial killer documentaries, etc. When somebody asked me another question about serial killers, and then they made a whole thing about it. So if that's the agenda of, I mean, that's just rinse and repeat too. You might want to go to the last clip art and the last, oh, I don't know, regurgitated nonsense they pulled for real around that. I don't, you know what's wild, dude? What's truly wild is watching. The thing is, right? All these serial killers, okay, society latches onto. It's what, the same 7 to 10 of them over and over and over and over again. But they were the rock stars, the superstars, right? And the thing is, they operated in a time period that helped them be exactly what they were. But actually, if you look at or study any of them, they really were not very good. The only thing that allowed them to carry on to the levels and lengths they did were convenient, great fuck ups, etc. By others around them. They would have never been serial anything. Because they were all screw ups, right? By that type of standard, I suppose. If you, yeah, and I think at any given time in the U.S., they say there's what, like a dozen or something operating as far as serial killers go. Think about, because when you have Dahmer and Gacy and all of them operating, right, in the eras they were operating in, at that time you didn't have cooperation between law enforcement the way you do now, right? Um, the there was not very good methods of communication between, or uh, that allowed some of the most notorious and famous serial killers to operate and function in the eras they did. The thing is, serial killers have always been a thing, probably since, like, fucking caveman type shit, right? The only reason that you have that rock star period with them is because at that time, what you had happening was all of these world events changing. You had media starting in a different way than it had been, between especially late 60s to like 80s, right? But you have media starting in a different way than it had operated before. So then and then that's really when the true crime type of thing took hold, right? Um, and people with these fucking monsters, um, and then asking themselves stupid questions like nature versus nurture, like most things, right? They were caught, uh, and for me, it's like, people, it's like watching around all this for over a year and a half. People scream and yell about, well, are all the ones on lists, the registered, etc., type of SA people, etc., right? And monsters that are on lists. They've been checked, or they've been vetted, and blah, 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 right? And of course they have, right? It's the first thing alien feds are going to do, right? It's not the one alien feds are going to do, right? It's not the one that, it's not the ones that are on lists that are scary or sugary people. It's the ones that are not, that are more of a danger, I think, right? Same applies for serial killers. It says operating in the year 2022 and are able to get to the status of serial anything that should worry the shit out of people. Because honestly, like, think about the changes from 60s, 70s, right, to 2022 and what's in place, right? Yeah, it's unfortunate though, isn't it? And that you have groupies surrounding these monsters. It's people like that that worry me more than the monsters. In ways, it's their fucking groupies. It's the crazies, the nutters, etc. that surround all of these people that are damn near more worrisome. And probably harder to understand when latch onto those monsters than why the monsters themselves do what they do. You know? Than why the monsters themselves do what they do. You know? For me, it's the groupies that are more worrisome. I've never understood. Sure, trying to understand monsters, it can be entertaining in some way, but the actual crimes, the horrible things they do, um, just it's. Nope. And to call them monsters is somehow separating and acting like it's a Jekyll Hyde, but the truth is, what you have is a human capable of the most horrendous of things, and they are just like. Yeah, they blended in for reasons, right? And I think that's what fascinates people, is that they could be standing beside something like that, and they are just like. Yeah, they blended in for reasons, right? And I think that's what fascinates people, is that they could be standing beside something like that at a water cooler or somewhere else and not realize it. That's not very fascinating to me. Mm, I don't know. Have you seen the links some of those groupies around some of those people go to? Dates? Have you seen it? I would definitely recommend you go look at the history of little groupies and the nutters, especially where it concerns females latching on to. Like the ones that are like, oh, I want to marry, don't I? You know, that type of shit. And they get up to some real shenanigans and try to get them out at me. It's not cool, man. I'm well aware of where certain people come and go from. They just have to start asking themselves if they really give a shit about their clip art or narratives or spin or whatever they want to put on it for whatever people they fuck around and find out with. And which ones they want to be tied to when all things come together in the end. They're going to have to ask themselves. Because I would almost guarantee you at a certain point that all of these families and the victims and all those around all of